Okay, today I'm gonna go over the good old board game, The Legend of Drizzt. So as we pull open this box, as having trouble opening it, we'll go over this. Now, of course, look, I've already opened it, and as I move one of my chairs out of the way, we'll go quickly over this. Get that top out of the way somewhat. So now we've got the rule book. So this basically lets us, in a sense, give us a good overview on how to do this and everything. So as you can see, we got the introduction and of course the Legend of Drizzt. So Drizzt is one of the main characters in the Forgotten Realms campaign setting, made popular by R.A. Salvatore. So there's at least 2 or 3 dozen books on Drizzt, and that spans the continuity of the Forgotten Realms. So you can get into that, but you don't necessarily need to be able to play this game. Gives us a quick overview and number of players. So this game can be played with any number of players from 1 to 5. So you could, in essence, play by yourself and everything, but it's going to be a lot more fun with other other people. So here you can see how we can win the game. You win by completing the objective of the adventure you are playing. For example, in one adventure, you need to defeat the evil dragon that conquered Mithril Hall, while another, you must stop a drow assault. As I'm stumbling over my words today. So here we can see what we actually get and everything. And so we got a little in a sense preview of what we actually get for the cards and stuff. So now go even further with what we also get. It explains how we start playing. Then we can see here it goes over the different tiles and stuff that we get that I'll be going over. We also got the hero cards. So here you can see Drizzt with his hero cards. So we have abilities like AC, HP, speed. So your speed pretty much how much you can move across the board and stuff. HP is how much damage you can take. AC is how well you can defend your stuff itself, and it also goes into surge value. So right here you can see what surge value is. When a hero is at 0 hit points, he or she must use a healing surge token at the start of his or her next hero phase. After using the healing surge token, the hero recovers the number of hit points, so what you go to page 10 for. And then of course it goes into the actual abilities that they have, which we'll get into. So it goes even to further on the explanation how you do the movements across the actual board. Gets into then into the actual combat and attacks and stuff like that. Gets into the actual other attacks. Gets into in a sense the enemies or the monster deck, as you can see. Then we get you see the encounter deck, the treasure deck, and then experience points and stuff like that. So you can see how we level up and can continue on. So now there are 2 expansions to this, the Legend of Ashur-Dalon and Ravenloft. So I'll move this aside and put this back on so I can actually flip the box and showcase back. And so we can see Castle Ravenloft, Wrath of Ashur-Dalon, not the Legend. So I'm thinking Legend of Drizzt, Legend. So again, as I'm stumbling over words today. So back to as it slowly gets out. So now you can see here the adventure book, those adventures that get mentioned. So let's just play all those. So I won't go through that, so that way I won't spoil the game or the adventures. So you can see I punched out some of the stuff already, and here are the rest of the tiles. And you can see right here you can see one of the tiles for one of the enemies. And so we can see here some of the tiles that I've already punched out, and yeah, here some of the healing surges that you use that mentioned at the beginning. So some of the other tokens that we can use for different abilities like power strike. We got the D20 that we use to be able to roll. So as you can see here, we got our big miniatures. This one we got the Balor, and what's cool about this is that it actually has all these color coordinated, so you can pull quickly pull these out and kind of showcase them. So that way they're color coordinated. So that way you know like kind of like which faction belongs to which and everything. So like the purple is kind of like the drow, and like the green are kind of like your monsters. And you can see like gray here, like a little mind flare. So like another section of like enemies. And so as I pull these out to get to the heroes, now we actually have the heroes that are blue. So, and we have the different heroes. So like yeah, I got Regis, we got the Guinevere, the Panther, Dwarven Berserker, Drizzt himself, and I've got the Brunner Battlehammer, Katie Bree, and good old Wolfgar. So those are like, I'll leave the rest in here and everything, so like it's going to be easier to pick up and everything. So now like we can see here, like with the cards, like for instance, like your treasure cards. And so like that's actually the wrong one. So like treasure cards, you can see like how we can get like the different types of like treasure we can get. And then like all right, these are like the abilities, like a swashbuckler. So like you can see the different like the types of abilities. So now each, in a sense, each class has like their own like abilities. So like for instance, that was the swashbuckler. We can see here like, the rogue works kind of the same deal. So like a ranger, fighter. So they get them better on camera and everything. So like drow utility power, drow. Battle Rager, Dwarven Berserker, Barbarian. So like you'd use these for like a Wolfgar, Assassin, Archer. Like you'd use for like a Katie Bree type of deal. You got your monster cards. So like for instance, all right, let's see here, monster. There we go. So like the different monster cards. Yeah, that's actually encounter. So disregard that. Drow duelist, feral troll, and archer. So different types of like monsters you can see. So yeah, there's the powers. Now we go like over encounters real quick. That's an adventure. So like the different types of things that can pop up for like adventure cards, as I kind of go through that relatively quickly. And so now our adventure cards. So like there's the counter card that I had from earlier. So your allies. So like I mentioned with the miniatures, Brunner, Katie Bree, Drizzt, Guinevere, Regis, Snort, Wolfgar. And so we even got like a few cards for like a sequence of plays, so you can pass these out to like characters or players, so that way you can like each know what to do. So we got even more treasure cards. We got even more power cards. We got even more monster cards for the rest of them, and even more encounter cards and stuff like that. So as you can see, this is like a nice in-depth board game. And of course, what's great about like this, and not only this, but board games, is like you get these miniatures and everything. So something like this would probably like if you don't get like a board game like this one would probably go for like a good $25-30 alone. And like good old like single miniatures like this for like the actual heroes and stuff, for individual characters, would go for like $5 a pop and everything. So you might, and of course you might also get like a 2-pack of like the trolls or something for like maybe $15-20. So if you're getting a board game just for the miniatures alone, this is well worth it, because like I said, most of these like individual like the hero ones would go for like $5 a pop, and you see like we get like a what, 60 something like miniatures, or like 60 something. We get like at least one or two, a couple dozen miniatures in here. And so that alone is definitely well worth this game, because this game goes for like $65. So as you can see, it pays for itself with just the miniatures, and so that's if you want to get it just for the D&D and everything. But like the great thing about this is like it's a board game, so we have like a good old adventure book that we can do. We can play on our own, and we got the rule book, so we can do that. Lets us play by ourselves. But of course, I'm going to say, hey, we'll go get a group and everything, because it's going to be so much more fun. I almost forgot to put those back in. So like yeah, put these tiles back in like right here, and as you can see, the ability to put everything back in and rebox it type of deal is great. So now, like, it does say it's like for 1 to 5 players, and like, yeah, you could play by yourself and everything, but I'm going to say you're going to have so much more fun if you actually get like the friends and stuff into it. Now, if you're if you not necessarily have people that are into board games, what you can do is get this, and like you can go to like your local gaming store. So the one I go to does have like a whole section that the owner just expanded on, that he's going to be making into like a gaming section. So you can just bring this along and get some people that might be interested and play there and everything. And what might be great is that you can find other people to play. So for instance, like mentioned like the plastic hero, so you get 40. So you're basically saving yourself a lot of money with just the miniatures alone. Plus, pulling double dually, being a board game, you can play this with friends, and then to kind of use this in a sense as a starter set to build into D&D as well. So this is why getting board games like this is so great. And of course, like before I flip it, I mentioned the 2 expansions, and what's great is you too can expand on this as well. So that's like another great thing about like a board game like this. Now I have gone over HeroQuest board game, which has a ton of expansions as well. So like if you want to go back and check out those videos as well, you just like I could quite possibly link one in there, so that way make it easier for in the description for people to be able to check them out and everything. But here it's the focus on like the Legend of the Drizzt board game. 1 to 5 players. I'm going to say it's going to be a lot more fun with at least 2 people and everything. So you could be Drizzt and Brunner going off to battle the good old orcs and everything to reclaim Mithril Hall. So that's why technically you could play by yourself, but I'm going to keep mentioning that it's going to be so much more fun with more than 1 player. And like I said, it can be a great introduction into D&D, along with being able to use those miniatures for double duty for this board game and plus for D&D as well. So now's the time to get into good old board games, and this could quite possibly catapult you into other games. So here is the Legend of Drizzt board game.